So, I noticed a few days ago that 5 Laps at Freddy's got a stealthy update, one that didn't even include a list of what was implemented. Curious, I took a look, and let me tell you, this is actually pretty big. In case you don't know, 5 Laps at Freddy's is a Five Nights at Freddy's racing game that's in production. Last year, its demo was revealed and got sort of a mixed response, but that was because it wasn't a demo. The game was clearly very early in production and definitely shouldn't have been shown off yet. But the FNAF anniversary was going on and it was decided to present it as a proof of concept. Thus, the game looked a bit rough. But lo and behold, this tiny update actually brought some big changes, and I'm going to cover all that I noticed. First off, and this is the biggest change, the racers are a lot more competent. It used to be that they would often just get stuck in like Midnight Motorist in the sinkhole. You'd see them shoved up against walls and trapped behind things, and only a few would make it to the finish line. It was easy to get in first, even if you majorly fell behind, and they weren't much of a threat at all. From what I've played, that's been mostly fixed. Not only do the racers keep on the track, I haven't seen one get stuck so far, but they actually give you a run for your money. There were a couple of races where I stayed pushed to the back or planted in the middle. Like one game in the sinkhole, I had to really fight to get to the ranks, and I had to slam through Springtrap to steal second. And this is great. This is an absolute marked improvement that the CPU gives you a run for your money. You want that in a racing game. They're also smart. You'll be driving in Midnight Motorist and catch sight of them bunny hopping over drivers in the oncoming lane. Like, they know what they're doing. So I think this is absolutely the best improvement. The game now feels like a game. It has that locked in. I also think the driving felt a little more controlled. I don't have the old version to compare, but I never felt like I lost control of my cart. This time. Speaking of, there's a new cart. Trash and Gang, the garbage car. Has absolutely fantastic handling if you're in the medium weight class. One of my favorites so far. There's a new Taser item too. You press the button and have to have someone lined up on the reticle and it shocks them. Very neat, and one of the times I used it, I didn't even have them totally lined up and it still worked. The Fazerblaster now bounces off walls and has 2 bursts, making it a lot more effective for hitting someone. The Fazerblaster was my biggest item complaint, if I recall. It would just shoot out straight, it wouldn't hit anyone. So that was also an improvement, especially since I got it a lot while playing. There's new animations on the character select as well. So I mentioned that originally it looked like some of the characters were staring into your soul because they would be absolutely still, blankly staring at you. Not anymore. Now they all have little animations. Freddy's got a sort of Freddy pose. Bonnie looks chill and no longer wants to eat me. Chica has a giddy look. Foxy is still posed all cool, but he's moving. Marionette is waving. Balloon Boy is flying, and Springtrap is also being cool. And Mangle got ripped. Look at that build. I'm impressed, buddy. Another big, huge improvement involves the sinkhole. In case you don't recall, the sinkhole used to be the disaster pit. It was the source of the most glitches, including that crazy glitch where you were constantly teleported back to a random spot in the track over and over again with no escape. There were a lot of places to get stuck too, and the sudden blocked paths could totally derail your driving, whether it be the trash falling on you or the drivers getting blocked up. The sinkhole plays a lot more smoothly, and not just that, but it looks a lot better as well. There's generators and wet floor bots, more smoke effects, lighting effects, colors. It looks closer in quality to Fazbear Hills and Midnight Motorist. And, again, like I said, I didn't see a cluster of other racers getting stuck halfway through. That was a real problem. Another thing of note is that the wolf animatronic that chases you during the night shift has been tweaked. It used to target people who had run out of battery, but now I'm not sure how it decides who to go after, but it does get around. Instead of avoiding it altogether like I originally did, I started getting hit by it at least once, usually twice per race. I'm not entirely sure how it works again. While this is an improvement, technically, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'll figure that out later once it's tweaked to its final state. And that's about it. It doesn't sound like much, but believe me, it is. It's not as flashy as a new track or characters, but this is laying the foundational groundwork for how the game is going to play. Because once that's done, once the game is totally functioning, then it'll be easier to implement the additional content. It's a marked improvement for a game nowhere near release. Still not perfect, but getting there. And honestly, I really think if this was the build that was released in the demo, it might have been received a little more warmly. I mean, again, there are still some issues. I did see one guy drive off the track. The karts are still getting their legs. We still need some more animations and optimizations, but it's functioning on a much more improved level, and that gives me a bit more hope for the game. Anyways, that's all I really gotta say for now. Thank you for watching.